About time. I'm glad you came. I was starting to think I was in the wrong place. I've done everything just as we discussed. Tell his lordship we'll get things started the day after tomorrow.
What things?
Riddle sent you, didn't he?
No. Who's Riddle?
Ah, never mind then. God be with you.
Hey, do you remember? That time we gave that merchant a fright.
First, he had treasure dropping out of his trouser legs. Then a silver from his purse.
But his hands were shaking so bad. The coin started...
What? Get out of here! You! Get out!
All right. Just pretend I was never here.
Now, Roth. Back off before I kill you.
Could this be a poacher's workplace? Then the owner might not be far away.
Get out of here! Fuck off! Clear off!
What are you doing out here alone?
Just out for a walk in the woods.
Found anything interesting?
Well, some berries.
Gamekeeper Vostatek sent me to find a poacher who's hunting around here.
Sir, have mercy on me. I can explain everything. I have a family to feed, only we're not doing well and we scarcely have a bite to eat. I was desperate. So I came here to poach. Please, sir, spare me.
Crikey, that was easy. I'm sure you know poaching is forbidden. So why'd you do it?
I was left with no other option, sir. Ever since this band of robbers has been marauding here, we can barely make ends meet. They got no scruples. They take whatever they can get their hands on. And there ain't nothing left for us common folk. Besides, Lord von Burgau, God bless him, he got his hands full with them and he ain't got time to put things to right in his domain. Ever since, we've been living hand to mouth.
Why are you here by Rocktower Pond?
I have a camp on a cliff not far from here.
Oh? I didn't find that one.
I've known the place since I was little. No one can see here from down below, and when you go from above, there's bushes covering it.
It didn't turn out to be such a perfect hideout, though. So you confess you've been hunting here?
A bit here and there.
But you know poaching's a crime. Couldn't you find another way?
I couldn't think of anything.
How long have you been...
Only...
What ambush?
They attacked...
You haven't left here since then. You've been here the whole time.
Sir, when I saw what happened down below...
You didn't try to go home?
I was on my way home. Only then I heard armed men, so I came back fast and hid. I'm not going to risk my skin.
Fair enough. What company was attacked?
There was some gents riding through. They wasn't local. They camped down below. I could see them well. I suppose they was resting up before moving on. And then this band of robbers what's been marauding hereabouts descended on them. It was a massacre. Them gents was completely taken by surprise.
Nobody saw you?
No, I was hiding here. It's hard to see up here from below. I wanted to warn the company, but it was too late. I'd have just got myself killed as well.
Well, at least you got away in one piece. We were those men. It was us they ambushed.
Really? But I saw everyone being killed with my own two eyes.
I managed to get away, even though I was wounded.
I'm glad. Sorry about your comrades.
What company was attacked?
There was some... They camped, I suppose, and then there was a
That's all I need to know. It's my job to catch a poacher, and you've confessed to poaching. So, what to do with you now?
Sir, have mercy on me, please.
So, what do you propose then?
I can tell you where to find deer nearby, places hardly nobody knows about. There's one spot here in the hills above Kerchak, and another in a small valley beyond Lower Samine Mill.
I don't know either of those places.
You see? That's a good reason to be merciful, isn't it?
Look, I'm acting on the gamekeeper's instructions, and he's going to want to know how I dealt with you.
What if you told him you didn't find nothing?
That might work. But you'd have to give up poaching. Because if you carry on with it, the gamekeeper will find out and he'll blame me. And if he puts pressure on me, I won't cover for you. I'd have nothing to gain from it.
All right, I won't poach anymore. But what am I to do now?
Clear off. If you stay here, the next time you're found, it'll be by someone who isn't so understanding. Do you want to leave your family with no provider? For poaching, you get the noose. Don't forget that.
You're right. There's no point staying in this region. You'll never see me here again.
Farewell, you vagrant.
Lord be with you.
I solved your problem.
Ah, my drinking problem.
No, not that one.
I should think not, since I don't have one.
I meant the poacher. I dealt with him. I found him and made sure he doesn't poach again. The fella scarpered, and he's never coming back.
I'd rather see a noose around his neck. He might have just moved to a different spot. Or maybe you're talking bollocks and you didn't find any poacher. But whatever. If you say he's packed it in, I'll believe you. What choice have I got? Right. How about another one? This poacher pisses me off even more than the last one. So I hope you'll help me with him.
I'm ready. Where does this poacher hunt?
Under the candlestick, where it's darkest. A short way from here. Around Vidlak Pond. That's why I don't go far from the lodge, see? The problem is, it's a damn big area. Almost all the northwestern woodlands. And it's uphill and all.
I get it. What should I do with this poacher?
Same as last time. I know we have a poacher around here. Only I haven't been able to catch him. If you can find him, catch him and take him to the bailiff. I'll sleep a lot more peacefully, see?
Right. Find him, catch him, bring him in. Is there anyone around here who might know something?
Ask the tanner in the valley. Or even better, ask his neighbour, the fisherman's wife. She'll tell you twice as much as that old soak.
Right. Right. I'll take a look around Vidlak Pond for the poacher.
Thanks, and good luck.
Greetings.
Where can I sleep?
You can stay in the stable. God be with you. And wash up a bit. You look on.
Oh, you poop.
I'm trying to track down a poacher who's hunting around here.
That's an important mission. But sorry, I don't know nothing about it.
I want to ask you something anyway.
Better me than the neighbours anyway. Especially Pavlik's old woman. Have you talked to her?
No, I haven't spoken to her. Why?
That's good. For sure she and her old man would tell you I'm the poacher.
They would? Why?
Those Pavliks ain't very nice folk. Old Pavlik ain't too bad, but that wife of his... I don't know why, but all of a sudden she thinks I'm the root of all evil.
I see. I imagine it's not easy living next to them. Still, I'd like to ask you a few questions anyway. Maybe you know something that could help.
As you like.
How's trade?
It's going well. There's demand.
Who do you sell most to?
Depends. I take everything to Troskovitz and there I see what's what. But the better hides go for fancy shoes and clothes. Things for the gentry and that.
Where'd you get the hides? From some suspicious fellas in the forest?
No, I ain't like that. I have an agreement with the huntsmen and their hands, who bring me what they hunt. But it's not that often. They don't bring much. And not the best stuff neither. More often they bring me hides from the village. They butcher animals and skin them and everything is processed. I do the hides.
So you're a tanner? Only a fool would think you wouldn't find hides at your place.
Indeed. Trade's good. So I've got a lot of various quality and origin. I don't bother with envious folks.
Why did the Pavliks hate you so much?
I don't know. But if Prague was to go up in flames, the Pavliks would run straight to the bailiff and swear it was me what did it.
Did you have some falling out with them?
Nothing I know of. We never talked much. I'm not the kind of fella that's at the centre of things. I like my peace and quiet.
Well, still seems odd to me, though.
You're telling me. At least you don't have to live next to them.
Have you seen any tracks left by the poacher?
I haven't. I wouldn't even know what to look for.
You know, animal carcasses, guts, a camp in the woods.
Ah, I see. No, I ain't seen nothing. I don't go walking in the woods much. At most, I go to Troskovitz for hides. Or to the village here to the north.
I don't know of any village that way. What's it called?
It's pretty far. I call it Upper on account of it being uphill.
Have you any idea where the poacher might be hiding out?
God knows. It's all deep forest, so he could be anywhere. Maybe somewhere close to the game he poaches.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Do you know of any place like that?
Well, not far from here there's a clearing in the hills where we used to go to watch deer. But I don't know if any stags goes there anymore.
I didn't know that. If I can't think of anything better, I'll go and take a look.
But don't get your hopes up.
Thanks. That's all. I'm hearing...
I see.
That's all that...
Good luck with your...
Vostatek charged me with rooting out the poacher causing trouble round here. Have you seen or heard anything suspicious?
You bet I have. The tanner's the poacher.
I've already talked to the tanner. He had a feeling you'd accuse him.
Too bloody right.
Poaching's a serious accusation. Are you sure he's the poacher?
I'm sure. He earns much too much coin for an ordinary tanner.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean he's poaching, though.
He's rolling in it. He can't have that from honest work. Why else would he head off into the forest every other week, eh? If it ain't him, it's someone in league with him. Someone who lives in Witch's Copse.
Witch's Copse?
There's a path behind our outhouse. If you go along it for a while, you'll come to a cross in the forest. And north of that, there's this big clearing. And Witch's Copse is beyond that. Folk are afraid to go there. It's guarded by old pagan idols.
Interesting. Have you got any proof that the tanner is poaching?
Did you see all them hides?
The tanner's a tanner. So he has hides. What of it?
Exactly. You saw he ain't afraid of putting them on show. Even buckskin. He knows if he puts them on show, nobody'll question it. It wouldn't be so suspicious. But you know what I'd like to know? What's he got hidden in his workshop, eh? Apart from hides.
Have you ever seen the tanner poaching with your own two eyes?
I haven't actually seen him, but I'm quite sure it's him. I just know it. I'll gladly confirm it, even to a judge.
I'm afraid that won't be enough when there's no material proof. Where does your hatred for the tanner come from?
I beg your pardon? You come here asking questions, and you're impertinent to boot.
Sorry, I didn't mean it to sound bad.
Is there an 11th commandment? That I have to love every vagabond who moves in next door? I couldn't give a damn about him, if you want to know. He lives like a king, and he never done us any good. And he's always making nasty faces at me, like, ha, look at you, you beggar.
I understand. He's a bastard.
Aye.
So the tanner does well out of his trade?
Does well. He's on the pig's back. And no one ever made that kind of coin out of tanning hides. It'd be a miracle if he wasn't guilty.
Or maybe he's just very skilled.
Skilled my arse, you numbskull. He's a puffed-up idiot, a botcher, and a bastard.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Be sure and check him out. And don't forget he's a crook.
I'll bear that in mind. Thanks for the advice and all the information.
You're quite welcome. Justice must be done. Take care now. And go and wash up. You look like you could use it.
Here's another camp, and I bet...
Are you...
A bit. I'm looking for a poacher in the forest. Nice camp. All these hides and gutted deer.
Eh? Fucking hell!
Gamekeeper Vostatek has been looking for you.
What does he want? The garlic I harvest here?
He wants us to go and see the Troskovitz bailiff together.
I ain't going. I'd rather croak out here in the forest. So keep your distance.
You don't seem to understand who you're talking to. I didn't come here to talk shit about garlic. You're gonna listen, and listen well. Because if you haven't twigged yet, I've got the upper hand here. Understand?
Fuck it. All right.
We're going to see the bailiff.
All right.
Vostatek told you I might be bringing you some poachers. So here's one for you. He chose the forest round Vidlak Pond.
No, please!
It's too late for begging. You're for the noose. Scum.
I took care of that poacher. He's in the hands of the bailiff now.
Excellent. Who was this crook?
Some arsehole pretending he was there picking garlic.
Lovely. Here's the reward I promised. And now I'll drink to it, I reckon. We can both have a little celebration. What do you say?
I think I'll leave that up to you. You've had more practice than me.
You're good.
Is there anything more I can help you with?
I don't need anything more from you.
And is there some other gamekeeper around?
Lad, the only proper gamekeeper around here is me. But Nabokov is a gamekeeper too. You could try him.
Uh-huh. And what's his name?
Varel, as in barrel. Go and see him.
Where does he live?
Close to Nabokov Mill. He's got a cottage on a hill and his eye on the surroundings. We're both having trouble with this. How to say it? This ghost. So it might be worth talking about if it's still troubling him.
Well, you got me curious. Thanks for the tip. You said before that you have something to talk to me about. I've got the time for it now.
Aye, I did. Come, let's have a seat outside, so we can admire the view at least. Henry, tell me something. How do you cope? When I asked you to kill those poachers, you went and did it without any remorse.
Murder is a sin. There's no doubt about that. But sometimes you don't have a choice.
Aye, you're bloody right about that.
Why'd you ask?
Being von Burgow's huntsman isn't my only job. From time to time, he gives me a different task.
What do you mean by that?
The first time was 2 winters ago. The Chamberlain summoned me one night. Said he needed something taken care of. The lass couldn't have been older than 50. Serving at the castle. I saw young Sir Jan being dragged away from her.
Jan?
Von Burgow's son. He's at Sbarrow now. So you couldn't have met him. I don't know what they told her. She rode behind me obediently. I brought her deep into the woods. And then, when you shoot a deer, it doesn't make a sound. You know you did a good job. It didn't suffer, you know? But this lass, it shrieked like a banshee.
You killed her?
Was I supposed to refuse an order from my lord?
Who was this girl?
I don't know. I reckon I saw her a few times at the castle. A maid, I suppose. She had hair like straw and blue eyes. I keep seeing her in my dreams.
Why did von Burgov have her killed?
When I came over to her, as she was laying on the ground, screaming, to put her out of her misery, that's when I saw it. She was with child. I reckon she was carrying Jan's bastard, and von Burgov was against it.
So that wasn't the only time you had to do something like that?
It wasn't. Usually they just give me a body to get rid of in the woods. The wolves take care of it. But this was different. It haunts my dreams. The only time I forget about it is when I'm drunk senseless.
I didn't expect you were going to tell me something like that. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
That's all right, Henry. Lending your ear is more than enough.
Does your family know?
I told Zlata, but not Vitek. The lad is young. He shouldn't have to worry about things like that. But enough talk, Henry. Thanks for sitting here with me. And one more thing. I'd appreciate if you didn't tell anyone about this.
You have my word.
Greetings.
You silly dog.
Gamekeeper Vostatek from Takov sent me here.
You were sent by Vostatek?
Yes. He hired me to find and catch poachers in his forests. That job's done, so he sent me to you. He said there's something I could help you with. He was talking about some ghost?
Nice. You might actually be useful then. What's your name?
Henry.
I'm Varel, the gamekeeper in these parts. But I suppose you know that. The lad who helps me told me a while ago about this ghost you mentioned. But I'll tell you about that after you help me with those bastards infesting my forests. What do you say? Will you do it?
Aye. I just need to know some details.
Sure. Ask away.
How do you know you've got poachers here?
The usual. There's been less and less game, and there's always a reason for that. I thought at first it might be them wolves that are rampaging there too, but I found some remains. It's a poacher, all right.
How can you tell?
There were knife cuts on the bones, not marks of wolves' fangs.
Where do these bastards of yours usually hunt?
The first one has been poaching Troskovitz, the graveyard site. Now we've started patrolling there, he's pulled back to Slatego, somewhere to the east of the graveyard, and we ain't too keen to go there.
Why's that?
The place is cursed. And on top of that, it's swarming with wolves. You know that half-built cottage in Slatego?
That must be deep in the forest, right?
The previous gamekeeper started building it, but he didn't finish it. He kicked the bucket before he could go on his first round. I've been gamekeeper here since then, and I don't intend to end up like him.
Vostatek was moaning his forests are full of the vermin, but I only looked for 2. How many do you think you've got here?
I have my suspicions about 3 places, and poachers always work alone, so I reckon it's an unholy trinity.
Do you know of anyone near Slatego who could help me?
Try asking Ignatius, the Troskovitz gravedigger. Maybe he saw someone around there and can point you in the right direction.
Good idea. Right. I reckon that's all I need.
Good luck. See you later, my friend.
God bless.
I'm looking for a poacher in this area. Have you seen anything suspicious?
Not a poacher, I'm afraid, but more wolves than you can shake a stick at. It's mighty odd how many of them are wandering around here. I wouldn't be surprised if it was down to some sloppy poaching.
Any idea where I should take a look?
Right behind the cottage, there's a little path lined with boulders leading towards Slatego. Follow it into the woods and take a look there. The Slatego forest ain't that thick, so you won't get lost. It's nothing but rocks, really.
Thanks.
Farewell. Excuse me.
Quick! Quick!
That must be the unfinished cottage Varel was talking about. This is the poacher's camp for sure. Only there's no one here, and it looks like nobody's been here for quite some time. That's odd. Must have a look around. Sick! It looks like the poacher was attacked by wolves in his hideout. He tried to flee, but they chased him down. Oh well. I'd better report it to the gamekeeper. I've got some evidence if he wants it.
It was Jan, the beanpole.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I've got news about that poacher that you sent me to catch.
And? Did you catch him?
Not exactly.
What does that mean?
Well, you know how you said this poacher leaves a mess behind?
I know, the weasel. That really makes my blood boil.
Anyway, that's how the wolves sniffed him out. He didn't stand a chance against them. There wasn't much left of him, but I brought at least this as proof.
Show me. A hunting knife. This knife will be no use to him now. But still, no one deserves such a fate. Getting ripped to pieces by wolves. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to grieve over him.
You said something about a ghost. Will you tell me what that's all about?
Hold your horses. All in good time. If you help with another poacher, I'll tell you the whole story about the ghost. Or are you tired of walking through our beautiful forests?
Oh, leave it out. Tell me about the next poacher.
What do you want to know?
What should I do with him? Arrest him and take him to Troskovitz?
If some wild beast doesn't mete out justice first, aye. If he's not willing, force him. But make sure he's not too battered.
Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of poachers on the rampage here, aren't there? Is there anything different about this one?
This poacher is operating on a big scale.
A big scale?
He's killing so much game that he must be selling it somewhere. It's much more than he could use himself. Only, to prove anything, I'd have to grill all the innkeepers in the area. They wouldn't tell me anything anyway.
Where does this one hunt? Any idea where I should go looking?
A stone's throw from here, in the woods around Samine Pond.
Christ, that's right here under your nose.
I don't like going into them forests, to tell the truth. Even though they're nice and close, there's something not right about them. The game is often frightened. He uses that to his advantage. Miller Kreisel occurred to me. He looks out over that area, so he might know something. Even if he is a bit of a strange one.
Actually, Kreisel has people working for him who live even closer. I'll ask them.
Whatever you say.
Thanks. I'll go and find him.
Good luck. Be with you, and have a pleasant evening.
Christ, pardon me.
Huh?
You've no business here.
Hmm? I heard something.
I never...
Hmm?
Hail!
What can you do?
Take care, friend.
Gamekeeper Varel sent me into the forest to look for a poacher. I hope you don't have anything to do with it.
I don't have time for poaching. But it's true, you can sometimes hear some bastards on the hill above us. But none of them has dared to come down here. I reckon they're afraid of getting into a chat with Zenek and having their day ruined.
Thanks. I'll search deeper in the forest then. Black powder? I'd never...
Imagine!
That dog of...
And now I almost done.
Someone's making camp here, but it looks like a bandit's camp. This is definitely evidence.
Turn around right now.
All right. Just pretend I was never here.
Look here, you daft twat. Turn around and piss off. Right now. Hey, now I'll kick your teeth in, fucker. Attack!
Sick!
Come and...
That weapon won't help me! This is definitely evidence. Interesting.
Good afternoon.
I found those poachers, like you asked me to.
Poachers? More than one?
Yeah. A whole band of them. And not just poachers.
How'd you figure?
From the way they were armed to the teeth. Their camp is a little to the south of the pond. It's full of loot.
Somewhere by the rocks? Well, that's damn close. Got any proof they're there?
I found this on them.
Typical. The fuckers know what they're doing.
They were too much for me, I'm afraid. But I checked out the camp and saw the results of their poaching.
This doesn't sound like something one man can deal with. A job for the whole Troskowitz garrison, more like. I'll talk to the bailiff about it.
Have you anything else for me? What about the ghost you mentioned?
Aye, the ghost. He was poaching in Kompanina for a while, right on the border between my patch and Vostatek's. He knew well what he was doing. You wouldn't believe it, but it turned out to be some Hans Caper, a noble from some rat-eye place. They wanted to hang him in Trotsky, but didn't in the end, I hear. They say Sir Otto himself stepped in.
Apart from the odd detail, it's just like you said.
There's no depth nobles won't stoop to these days.
So if I'd come to see you earlier, I'd have tracked down this nobleman. I'd love to know how that would have turned out.
We can't turn back the clock, so we'll never know. But I can see into the future, where there's a nice reward waiting for you for helping out me and Vostatek. And here it is.
Is that the end of the poachers in Trotsky district then?
It ain't such a big area that there'd be dozens of the buggers.
That's true. Take care then, Barrow.
You too, Henry.